I lived in the developing world for 15 years. People have really no hope, no faith. And the basic fundament, I think, of any good human life is health and education.
One of the things that I learned from my parents is that education can make all of the difference in your life. Without a very strong education, I wouldn't have ended up much further away from where I grew up.
Education has been the entry ticket for me into what I do today, into my career, and it continues to be an entry ticket as I'm learning every day. And the Education Fund is a wonderful entry, at least for a couple of children.
Education unlocks potential. Without it, it doesn't grow. Whether you're a religious person, or you believe in karma, or actually you're just aware of the world's problems, you have to be aware of how lucky we are. And we should give something back.
So, what is KIPP?
Okay, I'm ready. I describe KIPP as being not a dream school, but actually a dream come true. It's a preparatory chartered school that helps kids from low-income communities go to college.
In one school year, every single one of you will grow 2 grade levels. And not only that, what I want you to do is set your goals higher.
It's not just a school, it's everybody working together to make sure that we can achieve our goals in life.
When I first came to KIPP, I really came with a closed mind. Really didn't expect to get anything out of it. I've learned necessary skills for high school, college, and the real world out there.
There's so many minds that don't believe that kids from underserved communities can do the work that they're doing. It's never a question. Can we do this work?
KIPP takes a lot of hard work and effort and studying, and so it doesn't come easy.
I think what makes KIPP special is the long hours that they have and all the extracurriculars that they offer.
KIPPsters can say, I learned tools that I needed academically. I knew what I needed to do in college, but I also developed the character needed, the grit that it takes to be successful. KIPP is focused on that.
I was a KIPPster. I went to and through college. And now my KIPP students are going to college.
Now my aunt is helping me, but I'm thinking about taking out loans for next year.
My parents are paying for my college tuition.
Right now my parents are paying.
My parents are getting the loans right now to pay for it, and then I'm planning on paying them back whenever I get a job.
I have a few small loans.
Parents are paying for your scholarship, so that's helping.
A couple of scholarships, and then I took out loans.
My parents pay for my college tuition. My parents are paying for my tuition.
Job on campus, and I have a few loans as well.
My parents are paying for the majority of it.
This year the university is raising tuition on out-of-state students by over $1,400, and that's a lot higher than the $200 that we originally expected. So besides the hike being unfair, it also comes out of nowhere. The university sent out brochures saying that the increase is only going to be $200 for this year. So not only do they raise it the maximum amount that they can to 6.5% of the current tuition, they did it behind our back. So we're a little bit frustrated about this.
And No Child Left Behind has been excoriated. It's been really bashed for being something that may have a good intention, but at the same time it does more harm than good. And what the president has been trying to do is he's been trying to amend No Child Left Behind as much as possible with executive orders, but at the same time I think some of the things they've done more recently, such as issuing 10 waivers to states throughout the United States, is more of a rollback and kind of going backwards instead of forward with education reform. No Child Left Behind, it definitely pushed the ball forward. President Bush, Teddy Kennedy, this bipartisan team said, you know what, we need a change in education, and all of the malarkey stops here. We're going to make sure that teachers, students, parents, everybody is held accountable, and this is how we're going to do it. And President Bush, he drew a line in the sand and said, hey, this is what's going to happen. Stop your belly aching, stop crying. We're going to make sure that every child, regardless of where they come from, what their background is, who their parents are, we're going to make sure they're going to succeed and they're going to get the education that the Constitution says they deserve, because every man is created equal. When No Child Left Behind was first enacted, the people who were proponents, they saw it as being a panacea. It was going to cure the educational system, whereas the opponents saw it as being the death of the educational system as we know it. It was going to be detrimental to students, it was going to be detrimental to teachers, and I just always thought that if they came together and looked at what they shared in common and what they thought worked with the plan, that maybe they could throw away some of the things or amend some of the things that didn't work and come up with more of a viable plan. By 2014, No Child Left Behind wants 100% of our students to be proficient in reading and math. That's not going to happen. And also, a lot of people that are opponents of No Child Left Behind think that the whole cookie cutter standardized test thing is not going to be something that's going to be a viable way of assessing our students, so they think definitely that should be amended, and we should come up with more alternative assessments for looking at how our students are doing in academic subjects. So if we could look at some of those things and amend them, I think that it would be more beneficial than just simply throwing the baby out with the bathwater, instead of looking at viable ways to make it better. The funny thing about school reform is there's no such thing as true school reform. School reform is a continuous process. As long as we're on this earth, as long as the educational system exists as it is, you're going to always continuously change things. The Japanese calls it kaizen. It's the art of continuously changing things and improving instead of waiting for things to go wrong. So that's exactly what we need to do.
One more time. Round two.